in church. And I've had this thought before, but obviously it circled back for a reason. I really don't know why things happen the way that they do. I don't know why people come into my life. And I think it's our egos that tell us that we know why something occurs. You know, there's this guy that he would frequently say this in the 12-step program. I think I know what just happened. And it's like we can do that when we're pissed off. You know, you often hear that when people get mad about things. Like we think that somebody's out to get us when really they're just being a prick, or, you know, they're inconsiderate or something. It's really easy to assume that it's all about you, which is really dumb. I'm really lucky to know that taking things personally is a weak thing to do. I mean, I used to take things way more personally, but working in restaurants has forced me to not do that. And I'm really lucky that I've had all that experience in restaurants, because it's allowed me to just brush things off that aren't important. You know, including things that happen at my work. And like today, when I was singing in the choir, I messed up. I sang the wrong thing, and I just smiled. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Like in my 20s, I would have been so upset for the rest of the day. I would have been so ashamed, you know? But that's so prideful to think that we're not gonna make a mistake. And the worst thing that you can do when you make a mistake is to just yell at yourself about it. Because that's gonna put you in a position to make another mistake, you know? And then you're gonna think, oh, well, that's all I'm capable of doing is making mistakes. And then that's gonna put you in a state of despair. You know what I mean? So I just have to really check myself, because I will often tell myself that something happened for, you know, whatever reason I want to believe. Now, typically these reasons are pretty spiritual, you know, but I think that it's also demonic, because it keeps me from seeing the truth and just trusting God when I think that I know the reason why everything's happening or not happening, or why, you know, somebody came into my life and why they did this for me, or why somebody's mistreating me, and what I think I deserve or what I think other people deserve. I don't know. It's just something I need to be careful about. But, you know, when I'm most at peace, it's when I can just trust God that He's going to take care of the situation, whatever it is. It's something that I almost brought up last night. I was talking about this person who's probably going to be in prison. For legit reasons. And this person was a conspiracy theorist. And I tried to make this point yesterday and I totally forgot about it. Got poli-sided track per usual. But the point that I wanted to make was that just because somebody agrees with you, or just because you think that somebody has the same viewpoints that you do, that doesn't make them a good person, and that doesn't mean that they're in your life for whatever reason you want to believe. So it's definitely slim pickings though, right? When it comes to people in our civilization right now, it's like women suck, a lot of men suck, everybody sucks. That's why you see this massive uptake in like people that like just adopt pets. I mean, I know I'm going to talk. I have 2 cats, but they were given to me. Okay, I don't have to have a pet. I really don't. I'm fine with being by myself, because like I can make a friend out of an inanimate object. So I don't need comfort from like other things. I mean, I love my cats. Sometimes I like being around other people. Most of the time I don't. But yeah, like, I think that for a lot of people right now, they're just so desperate for somebody to say something that's true. They're so desperate for somebody to make sense out of this world that they find me attractive. Yeah. But I do it too, where like I will find myself attracted, and not for like romantic or sexual purposes, but just, you know, for friendship purposes. You know, like, oh, this person knows that this thing is bad. This person can see these correlations like I can. Yay! I never thought that there was another person that could see these correlations. And that's why you have this whole truth shtick that so many people are pretending is their shtick. Okay, let's not name names, but they're famous. Okay, a lot of people. And there are some people that I really like, and I agree with the things that they say, but that doesn't mean that like they're not working for people. That doesn't mean that there's not an agenda that's not very good. And I just have to keep that in mind. And I know that sounds really like paranoid, suspicious, and if you weren't already schizophrenic, you will be by the time you finish watching any one of my videos. But yeah, it just seems like it would be wise to, you know, look into things further, you know, than just assume that somebody has good intentions, you know. But we're very surface level people, so if somebody just says something that we like, or they might give off the appearance that they have good intentions and they're trying to help people, you know, we want to believe that. We want to believe that there's somebody on our side, which is why people keep voting. You know, it's the same thing with drugs and, you know, different experiences that people chase. Like, they want to believe that there's good in the world. They want to believe that there's some sort of happiness that they can gain. They want to believe that there's some sort of relief. And what if there just fucking isn't, dude? What if this is it? I mean, yeah, that's why I get depressed. And that's okay. It's okay to be depressed. You don't need to fix that. It's nothing to be fixed. You're just aware of how fucked up things are. And I think that they've always been this way. And I think that with progress and with politics, it's just made it so much worse. So basically, our suicidity is created for us, and most of the people in that suicidity go along with whatever they're told to go along with. Whether it's good or bad, right or wrong, is totally irrelevant. They do it because everybody else does it. They do it because they think that's what they're supposed to do. Okay? Now, a lot of these things in our society capitalize and exploit the things that we already have that are totally natural, like our desire to procreate, or our desire to fit in, or our desire to have sex, or our desire to be liked or understood. Is just one lie after another. And so I know that my existence, well, hopefully, I know that I'm here and I'm real and I'm an actual person living in the world, and it's like I trust that happened for a reason. You know, and I think that I've been fucked up because I'm adopted, and, you know, if you don't know who brought you into this world or why you're in this world, like, yeah, that can make things more difficult, but that in itself has also brought me closer to the Father because of that question mark. And it's okay that it's a question mark. Like, we don't have to know everything, you know? But like I was saying earlier, it's like when you think you know shit, that's when you screw up. And then you get cocky. And it's all about you. Now, I can do this with other people too. I can make assumptions about other people's lives and why things happen to them the way that they do, and that's wrong too, you know, because I'm not God. And when I'm more in touch with that, not knowing, when I'm more in touch with the fact that I don't have to know. And I'm okay with that. And I can just accept that. Whatever happens or doesn't happen is fine. But, you know, obviously that's easier to proselytize about than it is to actually apply. You know. Let's see how we are on time. Oh, wow. I'm earlier than I was yesterday. I actually have a pretty good excuse this time. It's not an excuse, it's a reason, okay? I was singing for the Lord. But, you know, it's easy to get lost in thought. I think it's far better to get lost in thought than it is to get lost in entertainment, or lost in gossip, or lost in bullshit, you know? I'd much rather be lost in my own thoughts, as dangerous of a place as that sounds. I mean, you want to get to a place where you can trust yourself, too. You want to get to a place where you're not afraid to be alone. And I think that for a lot of people, that's really, really scary, which is why they shame those of us loners that don't have to be validated. I wore a bra, you guys. That's how much I love God. I don't want people staring at my tits. That's more the issue. God made these tits. Okay, they're for him. They're for him. Because I don't think a baby's gonna suck on them. While that does make me sad sometimes, I was thinking about, you know, choices that I've made in my life. I don't regret the choices that I've made. I think that a lot of women do. Like, the older that they get, I'm going to be 40 next week. Holy shit. I'm actually less nervous about that than I was last year. Like, my 39th birthday was so bad. I was also recovering from shingles. So... I guess I could turn the car off, couldn't I? But yeah, you know, whenever you, oh my God, I'm sorry, Vortex. I didn't mean to take the Lord's name in vain like that, but there's a lot of ketchup on me. Look. Look at it. Look at this ketchup. I have a ketchup foot. Okay. So apparently there was a packet of ketchup in here and I stepped on it. Oh. Yeah, I probably should like clean up my car out, shouldn't I? That's a sign. That's a sign that something needs to be addressed. Oh, that is nasty as fuck. Okay, it smells bad. There's a trash can over there though. What should I do? What should I do? Do I have a plastic bag? That would be really cool if I had a plastic bag, but I don't think that I'm that lucky today. Okay. the smell is what gets to me the most. Ketchup smells so bad. But anyway, you just never know what's going to happen in these videos. That's why I say this is the most authentic thing you're going to see on the internet. I'll be right back. That was so gross. Like, why would I put, like, a packet of ketchup on the floorboard? This is why I can't have kids, okay? If anybody asks me, like, wait, you seem like you'd be a good mom. I'm too much of a child. And I'm almost 40, okay? And you might think that's pathetic. I have self-awareness, okay? You have any idea how many people have kids and they shouldn't have kids? You have any idea how many people are married that shouldn't be married? At least I fucking knew that that was not in the cards for me, okay? So whenever people, like, they just assume that I'm lonely, or they assume that I've made the wrong decision or whatever. I know that I have not. But that's not to say that it doesn't ever make me sad, because of that ROMO, the reality of missing out. Everybody has to deal with some kind of ROMO. It's kind of a weird thing to fear missing out. Like, you're always going to be missing out on something, so why would you be afraid of that? That's stupid. Our whole culture is so fucking stupid. And there's no better proof than, like, all of the little acronyms that we use. The slang, the trends, you know. Holy shit. What else is on the floor? Lens cleaning wipes. I got excited because I thought it was a fucking, what are those things? Those Sani wipes? That's what I need right now. I'm pretty sure we have them in the store though, because I do work at a restaurant and all. But yeah, so anyway, lots of holy bread today, which is good because I can never eat enough of that. But yeah, man, I've trusted my instincts a good bit of my life, and I don't think that they have steered me in the wrong direction, because I might not always know what's good for me, but I definitely know what's bad for me, like in relation to like relationships, like romantic relationships. So I've been a lot quicker to get out of bad situations. Now, obviously, like, that doesn't mean that I still don't attract sick people to me, and because I empathize with their situation, and a lot of these people don't have anybody else. I try to be there for them, but I definitely fall short because I can't ever be like what they want me to be anyway. I try to offer like whatever I can offer, and I'm not gonna pretend to be somebody that I'm not, you know, all to please somebody, you know. And I think that's another problem. You see a lot of that with marriage, and that's a huge part of what marriage is. So like I know that I can't do that, so I wouldn't even bother. And if that's selfish, it's selfish. But it's like, I don't think that everybody's meant to have kids. I don't think that everybody is meant to be conventional and boring. And I'm not saying that you have to be boring if you have a family, but it tends to make you boring because you have to go along with the world in a lot of ways. And the whole domestication thing, I'm not even a fan of the idea of that. So if I can't even get behind the idea of that, I highly doubt that I would be okay with the reality of that. But you know, some people it like really, really suits them, and I'm like so happy that they have that. But yeah, biologically and psychologically though, we're prone to want that. Which is why I think I have this male archetype in my head that's like so prominent, because I know, like, I think instinctively I've always known that I would never be able to keep a man. But the man in my head won't leave.